Hi, Juan and Pat. Well, that's right. President Biden and Mexico's president met today at the White House. The two appeared eager to show unity. And in a reversal, Mexico is now offering to pay a lot of money for border security.
Mr. President, my friend, my partner, it's good to have you back in the White House.
President Biden and Mexican President Manuel López Obrador at the White House announcing major agreements, including $1.5 billion in smart border technology paid for by Mexico. President Biden emphasized this as a new era of cooperation.
As I told you from the beginning, and I mean this, we see Mexico as an equal partner.
The two leaders met for several hours. President Biden announced the U.S. would expand the number of working visas, expand worker protections, and said the U.S. would allow more refugees.
Over the last year and a half, we've devoted our teams to whole-of-government efforts focused on rebuilding a solid framework of U.S.-Mexican relations.
The tone of the meeting was almost a total reversal from the previous administration.
Who is going to pay for the wall? They may not know it yet, but the answer is Mexico.
Former President Donald Trump took a much more confrontational approach towards Mexico, constantly telling supporters the border wall would be paid for by Mexico, which was not true. U.S. taxpayers paid for it, and only after President Trump shut down the government for 35 days because the wall money was blocked by Congress. Now comes word that Mexico is indeed shelling out $1.5 billion in border security technology. Loyola Law professor and political analyst Jessica Levinson.
This is such a you catch more bees with honey moment where now we have the Mexican president saying, yes, we will spend $1.5 billion on border wall technology, on smart technology and safety, whereas former President Trump really made this a key part of his campaign and administration, where he was saying, we need to build a wall, Mexico's going to pay for it. They never paid for it.
The two leaders also discussed the crisis at the southern border, the influx of migrants, thousands crossing through unforgiving and dangerous terrain. In many cases, minors have been found without parents or guardians. And then there was this horrific tragedy last month. 53 migrants found dead inside a tractor trailer in San Antonio. The alleged smuggler arrested as he tried to pose as one of the survivors.
We need every country in the region to join us in tracking this multi-billion-dollar smuggling industry that's preying on our most vulnerable, including the 53 souls who died in a tractor trailer in San Antonio last month.
Before today, there have been some tensions between the two presidents. President López Obrador did not attend the Summit of the Americas here in L.A. last month, and López Obrador has been critical of how the U.S. has provided aid to Central America. Live in the newsroom, I'm Tom Waite. Juan, back to you.
All right, Tom, thanks. Disturbing new video from inside